Hello there, traders, on Tuesday evening, the 9th of January, in the 9 o'clock hour, or maybe a little bit later. I'm going to throw this video together as a companion to the blurb I just posted with regard to the article that Doug Kass has put into Real Money, 15 Surprises for 2013. And what I'm going to try to do here is to come up with some possible levels down that we could see if we get that gloom and doom that he thinks he's seeing coming into the first 6 months. And the first order of business is going to be to decide what leg to use for a scale of force. Will we grab that November low to the recent high following the fiscal cliff euphoric nonsense? I'm inclined to say no, and what I want to look at is the greater trend, the real trend, going all the way back to the low of the financial crisis and the bottom that Doug called at the time, up to the recent October highs. In some cases, the September high. Will start with the down and we'll go from there. I'm going to do away with price charts, moving averages, oscillators, technical indicators, algorithms, if I even had an algo, and just go with some simple sacred mathematics. This is a simple Excel calculator that my good friend and trading partner, Dr. Azim Parak, helped me develop to calculate scales of force. We use this when trading stocks, futures, and indexes. And we'll start with the Dow at the panic low. The low in March of 2009 came in at 64.69.95. That's our first anchor. We had a high recently in October of 13.661.87. And that gives us our scales of force. Operating on the premise that Doug Kass is right, as he was in 2009, the first scale of force support down from that recent high takes us down to 12,762. If we were to lose that, we'd be looking at 11,264. And this is where things get kind of dicey, because it would move into a new scale down that could take us, if we lost that 11.2, as low as 10,515 during the first 6 months of 2013 on the Dow. I have jokingly had stated out loud, I'm wondering if Doug Kass had been reading some Nostradamus. And look at the bottom he called. How eerie is it that the S&P came in at 666. 1474.51 recent high. We've gotten close to it, but we haven't been able to overcome that. First force level down from here on the S&P 500 will take us to 1373 and some change. 1205 after that, which I believe is below where Doug Kass is looking for. That would bring in a new scale at 1205. If things got really fugly, how about 1121 on the S&P? Scary. On the NASDAQ composite, the numbers for the panic low were 1265 and some change. We were recently at 3196.93. Force level down support will come in at 2955.45. Below that, 2552, where the new scale starts. Fear and loathing steps in. We could be looking as low as 2351.76 if things got fugly in the NASDAQ composite. OEX, the S&P 100, my vehicle of choice when trading indexes, has always paid the best for me. Had the panic low back in 09 of 317.37. Recent high 677.02. First force level down support comes in at 632, followed by 557. That new scale kicks in, could get as ugly, and I'm not saying it will, but the possibility exists of 519.67 on the OEX. Well, I'm at the NASDAQ 100, extremely relevant because the QQQs being so liquid and everybody loves to trade that vehicle. They actually bottomed, the NDX 100 actually bottomed in November of 2008. 4 months, almost 5 months before the rest of the indexes did. Recent high 2878.38. First level of support down 2645.94, followed by 2258.54. That would be nasty, a 600-point drop in the NASDAQ 100. If it gets into the next scale and we get a fire in the hole, panic again, 2064.84 on the NASDAQ 100. We'll end it there, and will any of these things come to pass? Too early to tell. By my dope, all I see for right now is a lot of congestion in the S&P 500 on a daily basis, although moving averages are starting to converge. That's not always a good sign. I see really flat money stream for now, and I see time segmented volume breaking down. Hardly a leading indicator here, but enough to open my eyes. So there's some thoughts, and let me emphasize again, I'm not stating levels that Doug Cass has published. I just am looking at what my own math leads me to believe could happen in worst case scenarios. Hope you enjoyed it. Read that article. It's up on Real Money. 15 Surprises for 2013 by Doug Cass. I am King Cambo. Smoke them if you got them, and that's how I roll on what may come to be in 2013.